On this day in 1820, the first 86 African-American immigrants sponsored by the American Colonization Society started settlement in present-day Liberia. On this day in 1838, Zulu King Dingaan orders the killing of Piet Retief's men. Following the signing of a treaty, Piet Retief and his men were treated to a farewell dance by the Zulu MPs at Ngongonglovo, the king's royal kraal. During the height of the dance, Dingaan leapt to his feet and shouted, "Bambani Aba Tagati," or "Catch the Wizards." The men were overpowered, dragged away and killed. On this day in 1891, members of the Dalton Gang commit their first train robbery, an unsuccessful attempt near Alila in California. It was the inauspicious beginning to their career as serious criminals. On this day in 1917, just 3 days after US President Woodrow Wilson's speech of February 3, 1917, in which he broke diplomatic relations with Germany and warned that war would follow if American interests at sea were again assaulted, a German submarine torpedoes and sinks the Anchor Line passenger steamer California off the Irish coast. The board game Monopoly goes on sale for the first time on this day in 1935. Also on this day in 1935, Turkey holds its first election in which women are allowed to vote. On this day in 1943, wary of his growing anti-war attitude, Benito Mussolini removes Count Galeazzo Ciano, his son-in-law, as head of Italy's foreign ministry and takes over the duty himself. You know what to say, if you want a job done properly, do it yourself. The Russian Red Army crosses the Oder River on this day in 1945. On this day in 1952, after a long illness, King George VI of Great Britain and Northern Ireland dies in his sleep at the royal estate at Sandringham. Princess Elizabeth, the oldest of the king's 2 daughters and next in line to succeed him, was in Kenya at the time of her father's death. She was crowned Queen Elizabeth II on June 2, 1953, at the age of 27. On this day in 1958, a British European Airways flight crashes just after takeoff from the Munich airport. 23 people died in the crash, including 8 members from the Manchester United soccer team, which had just qualified for the semi-finals of the European Cup. Astronaut Alan Shepard becomes the first person to hit a golf ball on the moon on this day in 1971. On this day in 2012, Queen Elizabeth II marks the 60th anniversary of becoming British monarch. On this day in 2017, she celebrated her Sapphire Jubilee of 65 years, making her the world's longest reigning living monarch. Right, let's have a look at a couple of birthdays for today. Baseball legend Babe Ruth was born on this day in 1895. Actor and US President Ronald Reagan was born on this day in 1911. Eva Braun, mistress and wife of Adolf Hitler, was born on this day in 1912. Hungarian-born actress Zaza Gabor was born on this day in 1917. Patrick Macnee, the British actor who played the role of John Steed in the TV series The Avengers, was born on this day in 1922. And singer-songwriter and reggae musician Bob Marley was born on this day in 1945. Actress Kathy Najimy, who starred in movies such as Sister Act, Hocus Pocus and Rat Race, was born on this day in 1957. And finally, Guns N' Roses vocalist Axl Rose was born on this day in 1962. Prominent tennis star Arthur Ashe, a former world number 1 and winner of Wimbledon, dies at the age of 49 on this day in 1993. Beach Boys vocalist and guitarist Carl Wilson dies at the age of 51. Austrian superstar Falco, who had a number 1 hit with Rock Me Amadeus, dies in a bus accident at the age of 40 on this day in 1998. And South African writer Andre P. Brink dies at the age of 74 on this day in 2016. And finally, on this day in 1979, South African Prime Minister P.W. Botha offers to resign amid speculation regarding his involvement in the information scandal of 1979. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to our channel and tune in tomorrow for another This Day in History.